Hey, welcome back to Wook Plus. I'm Weekend Wook, joined by Kev, the Great Went. What's up, Kev? How's it going?
All right. I won
Mm.
last night's first set and tonight's second.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking. Last night's first set, I came in all bold and was like, that was one of the best first sets of the year. I thought this second set tonight was an exceptional set, really strong. The first set, I don't know, not so much. But overall,
Well,
I think the Nashville run was pretty good. Pretty good.
yes, it was. I think they liked the place. They were having fun. So,
Yeah.
how can you not? Everybody's probably down at the honky tonkin' after the show.
Yeah, Nashville's a cool city, man. I think that's a cool place to go see live music in general, but to see Fish. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
and so Dagan, welcome by the way. I like to do the member shout outs in the beginning. Our latest, newest member, welcome to the Book Crew. You were hanging out at the set break. That was fun. Good times. We had Llama with us, which is cool. It was good to see him. All right, let's get in this first set because there is some good things that happened there. I mean, there were it wasn't a terrible set. It was just didn't quite live up
Seven,
to the
seven,
night before.
seven, 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 5, 5.
Right, you
Love it.
say that as if like it's completely unexpected, but like I feel like all summer or
I
the
just
majority of the summer, this was what we were getting. Were
I
these?
I just wonder if you had 12 numbers
Yeah.
and you had a random number generator, you get that many sevens? Anyway, Buried Alive. I love Buried Alive. That is just a classic opener.
Yes, perfect. I think this is my favorite opener.
Yeah.
It's perfectly chaotic and orderly and fun and get you moving, but not too long. Love it. It's kind of weird though, like to do a bag. It's like a double open right out of it though.
Right. I felt like I was like, that's a classic move. Like from
Yeah,
90, 91, 92, you get a Buried Alive AC/DC bag or Occupy AC/DC bag or Buried Alive Suzy. Those songs always seem to like, I don't know if it was Occupy, it might be Suzy, sometimes might be AC/DC, but yeah.
there you are doing that old confident thing where you just say something really
Well, you know
confidently.
why I'm confident? Because I remember seeing it several times.
Yeah, but
So,
I've also I know, and we're not gonna do the analysis here, but I've also seen it open like
oh,
dozens of
AC/DC, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's what I
definitely.
mean. So it's like it is a double opener kind of
Oh,
situation.
definitely. It's just I would say it's a classic pairing in my mind. I'm like, "Oh, cool, Buried Alive AC/DC." That's
I'm just looking on .net and like from like 92 to like 94, they didn't
try
play it
90 to 92.
Occupy, yeah. Most of the time it was Occupy leading
Right,
into it, but after that it was openers for like
right,
3 years straight. But
right.
anyway, I digress. It was fine. I thought it was
Short,
serviceable, very
short.
short.
The last 2 we got had some meat to them. The MSG one and the one at the Man.
Yeah. Yeah, which was cool. But you're not
Back
gonna
to
get that every
tight.
time.
You knew at that point that it was gonna be what I call the greatest hit set, where he was just gonna bang, 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 bang,
Right,
bang,
like a
bang. We were gonna
festival set.
right. And then I just start hoping, all right, I hope I get a riff tune, hope I get something off a hoist, you know. And as it turns out, we got free, which uh, uh, like I said at the set break thing we were talking about, free is one of those ones that has the potential to be a monster. And I always feel a little let down when you get, I mean, it was solid. 10 minutes, had a nice,
It was sloppy though, man. Coming into it, the whole setup, they were off and Fish missed the hit and just kept crashing until they all locked in. I mean, eventually got locked in, but I don't know. I feel like that when they play enough that they should nail it every time. Yeah, Jason, sorry. I actually have auto balance on for the gain. I'm just talking really close to the mic tonight for some reason. I'll try to balance myself on that. Yeah, or was it Trey's fault? I feel like thanks, Chris. I feel like I was blaming Fish on it, but yeah, Trey was it was a little sloppy out of the gate on it, but it eventually locked in. What'd you
right.
think about Sightless Escape?
I think it should be the B-side of the About to Run single. It's
Yeah.
like such a superior tune, the riff and the whole feel of it than the other ones that we have in rotation, the Ruby Waves and Drifting,
And
Drift
Beneath
While
and
You're
all
Sleeping
those.
and Sea of Stars, yeah. So I'm all for it. I like that they kept it compact. I think that it would it works better. That it's got a clearly defined beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, I really like it. I kind of, I'll be honest, I forgot about it entirely. I saw, Ghost of the Forest when they were touring, but like there were a lot of songs that I haven't thought of since I walked out of that venue. And this was one of them. But now that it's back on my radar and that they played it, I do like it a lot. I agree with you. I think I would rather have this one in a heavier rotation than some of those other ones.
Right.
Although
And
I don't know if it has the same jam vehicle
no, it doesn't.
capabilities.
It doesn't. It's a
So
first
like
set
I like
song.
the fact that like the jam vehicle that Ruby's become, like I still think is valuable. So I don't want to necessarily replace that, but I like this one. It's nice.
Yeah.
And then I'd really like this Undermine. They didn't really jam it out. It was more like a, classic traditional improv passing solos. Page took
Mhm.
quite a turn with the organ solo, and then Trey had a pretty decent. So I thought Page was on fire though, and starting at this point, and then pretty much through the night, or at least the rest of the set, he was the MVP. Just fucking killed it.
Well, we'll talk about that.
What, you don't think he killed it?
I got thoughts about later in the second set who was the
Well, I
MVP.
said through the rest of the first set, so that still applies,
Okay. I
doesn't it?
missed that part. I missed that part. I
No, I'm
totally
saying
missed that
okay.
part.
Well, then let's start over. Well, cut, ready, action. Starting with the Undermine organ solo through the rest of the set,
Set page.
Page was the MVP because
Okay.
in Yamar, again, he was an MVP. Obviously, in Beauty of a Broken Heart, he was,
No.
the main
You mean
guy. And
grandpa? Grandpa Leo?
yeah, Grandpa Leo, Papa, my grandpa, Papa Leo.
Yeah, I
Oh
like
yeah.
Undermine. Undermine's fun. I'm glad that they got it out of the way, I guess.
What? I love that song. I like the drums on it too. It's a fun drum song,
Mhm.
especially like at the end when and tonight they didn't. Fish didn't really go far out with it, but like when they let him do the fills and the big filling in for a couple of bars. Also, I wanted to bring up he had his old snare out there
Mm.
from really old. I think 89, 90. Uh, but it sounded fucking great. It sounded so good.
Why would he
Hey,
do that?
Peru's here.
Why would
I
he
was
do
thinking,
that?
why did he bring it out? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Just
mean, as a
wanted a
drummer,
different
why?
sound.
What would some thoughts be? His other one was broken, and he had the one from the '90s laying around.
No, well, they have very noticeable different timbres and tones to them. Like the other snares he uses, he has a Black Beauty, like a Ludwig Black Beauty, which is a very traditional rock and roll snare. Like Bonham used it in Zeppelin, and a lot of artists use it. It has a very deep, powerful sound. But this one has like that crack to it, like the little poppy or crack that you hear in early Fish. And I don't know. Maybe he found it. Maybe he got it, cleaned up or something. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the story why he stopped using it. I think it's his best sounding snare. I think he probably should have never stopped using it, but I'm glad to see it showed back up. I'll look into it. Maybe we'll do a microdose about Fish's snares.
There you go.
We'll get like 5 people to watch it.
We'll snare a few people. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's for the 40th, Deegan. That's a decent idea. Um, where were we? Yamar, Broken Heart.
Yamar. He threw a couple interceptions.
Yeah.
I like
Are you
Yamar.
watching football?
I was just making a joke about the Ravens.
I thought you were like half-assing the review.
No. There's no football on this late. What do you
Yeah.
think they have a football game going on in Australia?
I'm so disconnected.
No,
I
no,
didn't even realize what
you're
time it
okay
was.
with Yamar. I know you're not a fan of the Mike songs.
Yeah, I like this one though. I mean, and I don't know. There's a difference because there's a lot of songs that he sings that are perfect in his range and work well and are fun songs. There's just other songs that are written poorly and he reaches and but no, I really I like this song a lot actually.
Okay. There it
And
is.
then it kind of like I don't know,
Well, you said
not
Paige was the
huge on
MVP.
these couple of these songs.
You said Paige was the MVP.
No, and he was, and I think he's played great. And I mean, honestly, I was moving on to Hey Stranger and Evolve.
Okay.
Taste was nice in the middle. Broker, I'm fairly indifferent with Paige's song. Like I like it, but I'm not like chasing. I'm not like, oh, I'm so glad we got it, but I'm not gonna be upset, about it either. Um,
Fair enough.
but I
What do
think
you think
the
of Hey
opinion that
Stranger?
gets me canceled or pisses people
Uh,
off is like I'm still not really high on
Oh,
these
I'll piss some
Trey
people off.
tunes.
All the Page songs from 3.0 sound the same. They could all be the same song. Oh. What do you think about Hey Stranger and it shouldn't be capitalized?
Okay,
Remember
well,
the
I
whole
just copied
album?
that shit.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm not. That's what I was talking about. See, you were still on page. I was already talking about the Trey songs. I'm not. I'm not very high on it.
It was kind of like it was strange to me that we got 3 new Trey songs in 4.0 songs in the first set with
Yeah.
or I guess Sightless Escape is from 3.0, but you know what I'm getting at. It
Mhm.
was right there in 2019. You
Yeah. I
usually
mean the
don't
vin.
get that many new Trey songs in a set.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The vintage for the show and for the set was actually 2003, which is basically the classics and then all the new Trey stuff. And they're fine, and maybe they'll grow on me. And if you like it, like listen, I'm glad you enjoy it. And I'm not trying to shit on it. It's just a lot of these songs haven't connected with me yet, so it's hard for me to get really fired up about it. And there was nothing extra with them, no like huge jam or big moments. So it's kind of like,
Mm.
all right,
Hey
cool.
Stranger's more of a rocker. So they get some props for that.
Yeah. I love
You know.
taste though. Anytime you get a taste is good
Now,
by me.
shouldn't Page start Taste? It seems like Trey started it again, just like he did in Dick's.
Yeah, well he Paige usually does, right?
Yeah, but I think tonight Trey started it again, or they were in unison maybe.
Yeah.
But at Dick's he started it, then they stopped and started it again.
All right, can we skip up to Ghost? I feel like
Mm-hmm.
this is the dragging part of this set. I'm sorry, it's just like recapping this end of the set. It's like, it's like a slog to me.
No, go. What do you have
All
to say
right, all
about
right.
Ghost?
No, I
Proceed.
thought the Ghost was great. I think it kind of saved the set, and I wish they did more of that kind of playing. Right? Like, and then so if you could sit here and be like, oh, don't shit on Evolve or don't shit on Hey Stranger or whatever, but then they play Ghosts like this, and you're like, oh, that's fucking amazing, right? So why not make it all amazing? But I thought the Ghost Jam, albeit short, was uh was great. I really like it. And I like it in this role, closing out sets, which is not a pattern, Kev. It's
Well,
only
they've done it. They've done it
occasionally,
a few times. They've
a
done it a
handful
few
of times.
times.
Yeah, it
So,
was exactly, Jeremy. That's a good way to say it. Jukebox.
uh,
And like I don't want to skim through the review, but it's kind of like what can you say about it? It's like, okay, they played a bunch of songs. You either like the songs or you don't like the
uh,
songs.
uh, and they closed with the Ghost. I'll leave with what you said. I mean, it was solid enough. Ghost has, in my mind, become the set closer.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's good. Real quick housekeeping. We'll be doing the rest of the tour 15 minutes after encore. Join us for this. Um, and at set break, if you're a member, you can come and hang out. We do a little set break stream. And then following tour, we'll have 2 live streams every week. Wednesday night, our traditional live will be back. That's really fun. And then on Sunday mornings, we'll also be doing a live stream at 10 a.m. And then hopefully we'll have some microdoses and some other shit coming up. But the big
mhm.
thing to remember, I think, for now is 15 minutes after encore. That's kind of what our focus is on at the moment. Uh, Second set, man. Like you said at the top, this it's a tale of two different. It's almost two different shows. This was a much better set, in my opinion. I thought
Mm.
this one was fire.
So
You want to
birds
take
of a
us off?
feather. Yeah, birds of a feather. Now it's another one of those, like I was saying earlier, like Ghost and Free, that have the potential to open up, and they really did let it open up tonight. And I liked where it went. I thought that when Trey went into full bliss, he was firing notes off, and then he jumped the gun a little bit to close it back out
Yeah.
when they went back into the birds theme at the end. But it was solid. I wish they had have left it open, not finished it, not had to go back and do the ending.
Yeah, which is I mean, they pretty much close out everything now.
Mhm.
Unfinished is very few and far between, but the top of it was really clean. I know the last couple times when they played this, I've been like, oh, it was sloppy, it was sloppy, it was sloppy, and everybody's like, what the fuck? But it's like a really hard song to be clean and nail. But I thought it was pretty clean. But yeah, you're right. The jump the gun coming back. I was happy to hear you got Wave of Hope. That was I had to give you credit on that. Earlier we were talking, and that was one of your calls. It's just become a very consistent, great song. Uh,
Right.
or at least a good jam vehicle.
I
You
like
know.
that the jam still feels fresh and organic in it. It
Yeah.
hasn't become, oh, that's what it is every time. There's always shades to it. It sticks to the major, but
Yeah. Which is fine.
yeah.
I liked both of these jams, and I thought pairing two 15-minute jams, you know, that were stood on their own but also worked together was a really cool way to start the set. It made it feel like the set was flying by though, because they weren't like the really long, spacey, drawn out ones where you're like,
Well,
lose half the set. But
Wave of Hope kind of fizzled out, didn't it?
Wave of Hope did a little bit, but Golden Age was
Oh,
the
Golden
ending.
Age did, right,
Yeah,
right,
we'll get to that.
right.
Oh God. Fuck, man. All right, I want to talk about it. Let's talk about Cinnamon Girl real quick. Neil
Right.
Young, cool, bust out. What is I
Yeah.
didn't write it down. It was like
It
218 show gap.
right. The issue for me, just on a level of set list construction, is it's cool that they did it, but boom, it's 4 minutes in the middle of the rest of this. Why didn't you throw it on as the encore? The Howling, Cinnamon Girl, Suzy Greenberg, or something. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
know. I'm not gonna second guess their set list construction too much. I mean, I think it was the breather of the set, right? Like it played that role. I was at the last time they played this at the Bakers, and
Donut night.
oh God, we're kind of a little bit of a negative. I don't care. You guys know how we are. I just remember everybody being super hyped because it was such a huge bust out and everybody loving Neil Young. But I was like, if you actually listen to it, it wasn't played that great and it wasn't that fun of a song. Like
Right.
I was much more hyped about some of the other covers and things that they busted out. It was I don't know.
Right. Do I want to get shot tonight?
Yeah, well, I feel like we're already pretty far down that path,
Oh,
Kev.
Neil Young is the poor man's Bob Dylan, is what I'll say about Neil Young. I love one of my favorite concert ever was with Crazy Horse, and Sonic Youth opened up for him. The
Yeah.
Raging Glory tour, I will never forget it. One of the loudest things I ever saw, but I don't know. I'll
Okay.
take or leave it. And I'm not a fan of Trey doing it. Trey doesn't convey the
Youngness of it.
weariness that Neil gets out of his voice, even when he's like 21 singing Old Man. There's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
weariness to his voice.
Yeah, Trey's too healthy and peppy and, feeling
Right,
good. All right, let's talk about
right.
this golden age because this was something, man. I was about, I don't know, halfway through it, maybe 12 minutes into it, was like literally jaw on the floor, like pulling my hair, like this is fucking incredible. It was one of the most creative jams I've heard in a very long time, like probably a couple years. Like I thought it was super fucking creative, especially coming out of Golden Age, right? Like that kind of jam. And they did not stick the landing at all. It just fell apart, but not in a good way, fizzled out and just kind of like, oh, I guess we're in the well now. And I was so frustrated because if they just even like halfway stuck that landing, it would go down as, the Nashville Golden Age, and everybody would love
Right.
it. And I mean, people will probably still love it, but it's hard for me to not have the strong ending coming out of it. But that said, I absolutely love 15 and a half minutes of it. And I
Right.
think I'm going to go back and listen to it a bunch.
Right. I skeeted that it was my Split Open and Melt Jam was in the middle of Golden Age. They really let it break apart. They did a fantastic job, but you're so right. They pooped the bed when they got to the end of it. Like, let it breathe a little more.
Yeah,
You know,
what was the rush out of it? There was so many cool things going on. Why did you have I don't understand.
I think Trey in his head knew he wanted to get the well in, You Enjoy Myself. And there's a clock on stage.
Yeah, and he's like, "Shit, I got the well and yem," and
he has it all planned out in his head what he wants to do, and he knows about how long it's going to take.
yeah, I mean, and I like the well, and obviously I like yam, and like, but maybe tonight, and I just told you, I was like, oh, let's not do critiques of Setlist construction, but maybe tonight would have been a night to be like, all right, we're not gonna do the well, we're just gonna fucking let the golden age evolve the way it's supposed to, right?
Or you could have done Cinnamon Girl in the encore and thrown that 4 minutes on the end of the
Yeah,
Golden
but they
Age.
had already played it. Like, I get what you're saying, but no, like, you're in because they didn't know what Golden Age was
They
going to
didn't
do.
know
And
where they
most
were.
Golden
Right,
Ages
I
do come
gotcha.
into that 14, 15, 16-minute mark. But this
Right.
one happened to really be fucking great. Everybody was locked in. Like, ride it out,
And
But
the well, I mean, it's Wolfman's brother.
what?
It sounds exactly
Yeah,
like
stop with all
Wolfman's
the
brother.
negativity, damn it. You're out of control.
No, I love this set. I love this set. I really do.
You haven't
My
said a
only
positive thing about any of the songs. So
I
what did you
have. I
love in
said
this
some
set?
positive about every one of them. I love that jam in Golden Age. The well, I love it, but it does sound like, everyone said, oh, the Howling sounds like 2001, not like the well sounds like Wolfman's brother, especially when they
What,
start
like
to
the
go into
top
the
half
jam.
of the well, you mean?
Yeah, it's the same bass line. Trey's
Yeah, but
playing,
nobody gives a
Dave's
shit
playing
about
the
the
same
top half of
keyboard.
the well anyway. The only thing people are thinking at the top of the well is, fuck, I can't wait till we get past this and get to the back half of the well. I literally groaned when it came on because I forgot that I liked this song. Like, he
Right,
started, and it just registered as a generic blissy happy Trey song. And I was like,
right.
ah, all right. And then I
Right,
was like, oh wait, I really like where this one goes.
right. We're gonna get another one.
Another well?
Yeah, I think that the more I've been thinking about it, I think Oblivion's going to show up in Chicago, and I think the well will too.
I thought you were all set that they weren't
I
going to
was,
repeat.
and I totally changed my mind thinking about it. When they played the well tonight, I was like, boy, that's all the new songs. And Trey likes his new songs.
They haven't played Pillow Jets yet, or Monster.
Oh, Monster.
There's a lot of new songs. What are you talking about? Crazy. You just say shit.
I don't. I've thought it through. I'm sitting here thinking about it, watching it.
Yeah,
And there we are. So we got the You Enjoy Myself. Let me ask you, do you like what they did those few times with You Enjoy Myself in the middle of the set, and then they do a real short vocal jam and go into a second jam? Or
Yes.
do you like it, you like it better than just tacked on to the end of the set and that's it?
I like both. I like closing out sets with vocal jams. Like, I just for the nostalgia and tradition of it, especially when you're there because of the lights and everything. I think it's a very cool thing to be part of and witness. But the post vocal jam, like the return jam, was one of the best decisions they've ever made. It reinvigorated Yem for me. Like, it
Mhm.
made it intriguing again. And like, I love the song. I mean, it's my favorite PHiSH song probably. I mean, if you had to pick. But there was a phase where you see it so often, every other show you catch it and you're like, okay, it's another You Enjoy Myself. So like, I think by doing that, it gave it something new, right? Something exciting.
Right.
Tonight felt a little extra though. I felt like they were a little more patient. going into the actual, I don't know which part of the jam, but like one of the at one point they were a little more patient and sat back on it. The vocal jam was rough though. I mean, because his vocals were rough, and although the samples are cool.
PHiSH wasn't even doing it, was he? I think he was just playing drums along, and the three of them were doing it.
Right. Trey was straining the shit out of his voice, and PHiSH was hitting samples.
Right.
And it was like, you know.
I think that I feel like that Mike and Trey both nailed the landing, getting off the trampolines. So that
was cool, going right into the first note of the playing. Yeah, that was very cool.
So, and at one point that was my most seen song, and it was like 1 out of every 3 or 4 shows I had seen it.
Yeah, it's up there for me. I've caught it a obscene amount of times. But it's cool. Like, I love it. Like, don't get me wrong. There's never been a time where like, oh man, they played Yem tonight, right? Like, I love it every time. I'm just saying,
damn it,
that there's a different type of excitement when it's different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm never disappointed by it, but there was an extra excitement when they started doing that.
Right. But you're right.
No, Justin, I agree with you, by the way. Justin's saying how them playing the new songs and the Trey songs is good in terms of them not quitting. I agree. That's always been like my go-to thing, is like whatever the fuck they need to play to enjoy themselves and to keep going, and that's fine by me. But I'm also allowed to sit here and bitch about it.
I'm gonna pick that shit apart if I'm on the couch. Now, one song that Trey loves playing is the Howling.
I love
that man is smiling and up to the mic and doing his rock star shit and like pulling back.
Yeah. And I felt like Paige pulled back the sample a little bit, which is good because the last couple times through the mix, it was too much.
At Dick's, I swear to God, I thought it was people howling in a huge circle around all of Dick's, but it was that sample that.
Well, I think it's a mix because like people are fucking howling and acting crazy.
It sounded like the wave, though. It sounded like people were howling in a wave, like each section at a time was doing it.
Yeah. I love that song though. It is kind of 2001-y though. Like I don't disagree with that assessment, but it's fun though. And it has wolf howling on it, or I guess it doesn't have to be wolf howling. It could be dog howling. Or
have you ever seen the movie Have you ever seen the movie The Howling?
Oh, I guess it would be a werewolf, right?
Yeah, it's a werewolf. It's a movie about a werewolf. Yeah. I don't know if there's any connection to that, but
do foxes howl?
I don't know. They're like, oh, yeah, I guess. Maybe.
That's weird.
I don't know. The only fox that I ever have had any real engagement with was in that Disney movie, The Fox and the Hound, and that one talked because it was a cartoon. So
and the Robin Hood one, that was a fox.
Oh, right. Robin Hood was a fox. I forgot about that. All right, Suzy. Thank you, Suzy. And we're out of here.
Yeah. Suzy was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We'll see you Tuesday night.
Yeah, and hey, I just want real quick thank all the subscribers and the members. Appreciate the shit out of you guys. Your support means the world to us, and tell your friends about it. We really appreciate everybody. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.